Hey everyone, Slambo here. So, K-Tel by the numbers. I've got a few. Let's take a look at them. First one I want to look at is the album, Hooked on Classics. This is an RCA release, actually. Number AFL1-4194. But down at the bottom here, oops, there we go. On the back, it says 1981 K-Tel International right there on the bottom. There were 92 versions of this record, according to Discogs, for various releases and various countries. This one happens to be the RCA release for the US market. Very long track list on the back. So it starts off with side one. The groups of tracks are side one, Hooked on Classics parts 1 and 2, and then Hooked on Romance, Hooked on Classics part 3, and then Hooked on Bach. And on side 2, we've got Hooked on Tchaikovsky, Hooked on a Song, Hooked on Mozart, Hooked on Mendelssohn, and Hooked on a Can-Can. And down at the bottom here it says, special thanks to Barry Griffiths as solo violinist on Hooked on Mendelssohn. Engineered by John Kurlander, produced by Jeff Jarrett and Don Reedman. Sleeve designed by Acrobat Design Limited. K-Tel's products are manufactured by major suppliers from the highest quality materials available. I gotta wonder about that one. Let's see, and then we've got in each of these, there are up to 20 subtracks on each one. So Hooked on Classics parts 1 and 2 has 17 subtracks. Piano Concerto No. 1 by Tchaikovsky, Flight of the Bumblebee, Mozart Symphony No. 40, Gershwin's Rhapsody in Blue, Sibelius's Karelia Suite, Beethoven's Symphony No. 5, Bach's Toccata, Mozart's Eine kleine Nachtmusik, the first movement, Beethoven's Symphony No. 9, Rossini's William Tell Overture, Mozart's aria from The Marriage of Figaro, Tchaikovsky's Romeo and Juliet, Clark's Trumpet Voluntary, Handel's Hallelujah Chorus, Grieg's Piano Concerto in A minor, Bizet's March of the Toreadors, and Tchaikovsky's 1812 Overture. That's all on track 1, Hooked on Classics parts 1 and 2. The rest of these, I'm not going to read the whole thing. You can look it up on Discogs if you're really interested, but it's huge. There are a lot of pieces that are covered on this album. The album, Hooked on Classics. Let's take a look at the inside. We got the nice plain white paper inner sleeve. The RCA label, RCA Victor label, there it is. That's side 2, and there's side 1. So on the record label, you can see it's just the main track list. So Hooked on Classics parts 1 and 2 is 5 minutes and 2 seconds. Hooked on Romance, 6 minutes 41 seconds. Hooked on Classics part 3, 6 minutes 7 seconds. Hooked on Bach is 5:52. If we look on the other side, we got the same RCA Victor label on it. Hooked on Tchaikovsky is 5:25. Hooked on a Song 5:13. Hooked on Mozart 4:22. Hooked on Mendelssohn 4:22. Hooked on a Can-Can 4:56. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tracks, each about 5 minutes. So it's almost a half hour of music on that side. And on the other side, 5, 10, 12, about 25 minutes of music on side 1. If we pull it out of this inner sleeve here, we take a look at the record itself. Very nice and clean. This is one that we bought originally when it first came out back in the early 80s. So this one is one that we bought. We are original owners of this record. There we go. Nice and clean record there. You don't see any scuffs or scratches. And in the dead wax, it's got the information on it here. Let's see. Let's go to side 1. And it says, if we can scroll it around here, there it is, AFL1-4194A-6. And that's the only thing it says on that side. And if we look in the dead wax on the other side, we've got AFL-4194B-3. So it gives you an idea of the pressing information. And now that I look at it, there are some scuffs on this side. They're kind of hard to see on the camera. It's up here by where my thumb is. There's a few little scuff marks up there. Can't really see it, but it does play through okay. And they're not deep enough to really cause a problem. But yeah, and it's a K-Tel record, and you know, you'd expect some scuffs on it, but this one, there aren't any really major scratches, so it plays through perfectly. So there we have Hooked on Classics, the album, Hooked on Classics. There were 2 more of these series released, and we'll go over those in 2 other videos. But there's the album, Hooked on Classics, AFL1-4194, released on RCA Classics, or RCA Victor. That's what I've got today. See you next time.